There are moments in life when God chooses people not because they are strong, not because they are bold, not because they are loud, but because they are willing. And today we are going to talk about one of those people, a man whose heart broke many times, a man who cried, a man who felt rejected, misunderstood, and lonely, yet stayed faithful to God. This is the story of the prophet Jeremiah, a story that is not just about the past, but about you, about me, about anyone giving up. And before we go deep into this story, I want to say welcome to God's Word Hub. Welcome to this channel. This is a place where we share Bible stories in simple language, stories that bring hope, faith, correction, and encouragement. Stories that remind you that God is still alive, God is still speaking, and God still cares about your life. And before we dive into the story of today, let us remember this powerful verse. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Those words alone can change a life, because they remind us that nothing about you is a mistake. And Jeremiah needed to hear that. Because when God called him, Jeremiah did not feel ready. He did not feel brave. He did not feel strong. He felt small. He felt young. He felt afraid. And he said in his heart, "Lord, I cannot speak. I am too young." And maybe you have said that too. Maybe not with your mouth, but inside you. Lord, I am not good enough. Lord, I am not ready. Lord, choose someone else. But God did not take back the call. God did not change his mind. God did not say, "Okay, forget it," instead. God said, "Do not say you are too young, because I will be with you." And those words changed Jeremiah's life forever, because from that moment he knew that his strength would not come from himself. It would come from God, and God placed his words in Jeremiah's mouth. Not sweet words, not easy words, but true words. Words that people did not want to hear. Words that warned them. Words that called them to turn back to God. And Jeremiah obeyed, even when it hurt, even when it cost him everything. He went to the people and told them the truth. He told them that they had turned away from God, that they were trusting idols, that they were living without justice, without love, without obedience. And instead of listening, the people laughed. They mocked him. They called him names. They rejected him. And this is where the pain began. Because Jeremiah loved the people. He was not happy to warn them. He cried for them. He prayed for them. And this is why he is known as the weeping prophet. Not because he was weak, but because his heart was full. Full of love, full of sorrow, full of concern, and many nights he sat alone, questioning, wondering, "God, why me? God, why this pain? God, why do they hate me when I am only speaking your word?" And maybe you have felt that too. Maybe you tried to do the right thing and still suffered. Maybe you told the truth and lost friends. Maybe you obeyed God and life became harder instead of easier. And Jeremiah felt all of that. There were times he wanted to stop speaking, times he wanted to quit, times he wanted silence. But every time he tried to hold the words inside, they burned in his heart like fire. And he had to speak again, because when God puts something inside you, you cannot bury it forever. And things became worse. The leaders became angry. They arrested Jeremiah. They beat him. They locked him in prison. And later they threw him into a deep pit filled with mud. Cold, dark, lonely, sinking. And imagine that moment. Imagine being there, faithful to God, yet surrounded by darkness. And ask yourself this question quietly in your heart. If following God takes you into pain, will you still follow him if obedience costs you comfort? Will you still obey? Jeremiah stayed, and God did not forget him. God sent help. God lifted him out of the pit, And this reminds us of something very important. Obedience does not mean you will not suffer. But suffering never means God has left you. And even in the middle of judgment, even while warning the people, God gave Jeremiah words of hope, words that said there is a future, words that said restoration is coming, words that said, I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for evil. And those words were not only for them, they are for you right now, for anyone listening, for anyone broken, tired, confused, or afraid. God is not finished with you. And Jeremiah's life teaches us many things. It teaches us that God knows you before you know yourself. It teaches us that calling comes with a cost. It teaches us that tears do not cancel faith. It teaches us that rejection does not cancel purpose. And it teaches us that hope always follows obedience. And now let me ask you gently, what is God asking you to do that you have been avoiding? What truth are you afraid to speak? Who are you more afraid of disappointing? People or God? And what if the pain you are going through right now is shaping the purpose God has placed inside you? Jeremiah's life was not easy, but it was meaningful. He finished his assignment. He stayed faithful. And one day he entered eternity, and one day you and I will also stand before God. Heaven is real, eternity is real, and the choices we make now matter. This story can change your life if you allow it. It can give you courage to stand, strength to obey, and hope to continue. So do not give up. Do not silence the calling inside you. Do not walk away from God because life is hard. Stay faithful, stay strong, trust God even when it hurts. And if this story touched your heart, stay connected to God's Word Hub. Come back again, grow in faith, prepare your heart for heaven, and remember this, God knew you before you were born. God is with you right now, and God will never abandon those who trust Him.